The other day I was talking to you about racism and how in Robin Diangelo's book, White Fragility, how she talks about what she calls the good. You just gonna pick up your phone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I was uninteresting.
No, we brought a book. I wanted to bring a book, but I forgot the name of it, so I started Googling.
Oh, okay. She was talking about what she calls the good bad binary, which is that after or during the civil rights movement, where we were able to see, the marches and the police dogs and the batons and them getting sprayed with fire hoses, and how for much of white America they were able to really see racism and how bad and terrible and how negative it was. And so racism got labeled bad. Bad people are racist. Bad people do this. But what that's done for many white Christians is that now they've put racism in a category where they themselves don't have to, well, they if they don't participate in these things that they categorize as racist, then they exclude themselves from the label. What I mean by that is, if racism is lynching, if racism is calling somebody the N-word, if racism is being deliberately discriminatory, then they're not racist. And what that does is you don't see that racism is a spectrum where you don't have to be doing these egregious, intentional, discriminatory acts to still
be racist.
Yes. And so that eliminates you from seeing yourself as you are, which is, no, you most likely still have a lot of implicit bias because of the media, because of the narratives, and because of growing up in a society where whiteness is king, right? And so I think people have to recognize that,
It's good.
like, racism is flexible. And it has adjusted.
That's a tweet. Racism is flexible.
It is. It has adjusted throughout the decades, and it's a lot more subtle nowadays. But I think people have to do the work of being honest with themselves about what they think about Black people, where they got that information from, and what they need to do to deconstruct it within themselves.
Yeah, and white people grabbing your hand and asking you, how does this happen?
Yeah.
That is not okay.
So I think a part of the work, because there's so many things we could do. I've been reading about defunding the police and all these types of structural, strategic things, which are all good and all necessary.